All right, so I told you guys I was gonna do it. I know room's a little bit of a mess right now. We got clean clothing piles, a couple of them sitting still. We just got to get everything put away. But you guys probably won't be able to see this, but I said I'd do it. I got 2 videos for you guys. One on dispatching, which I will be filming probably later today, if not tomorrow. And then financials. I asked you guys if you wanted to see the financials. And out of every 100 people that would say, yes, we want to see the rates, you'd probably have one that doesn't. So overwhelming amount of yes, we want to see it. So basically what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over my financials from January 1st all the way up until today, the 23rd, which I stopped working. The last thing I got paid for was the 28th. Haven't gotten paid for it yet because obviously it's, I won't see that till next Friday. But I'm going to go over all the gross numbers and all that. Now, a lot of guys ask net, gross, and all that. These are just gross numbers. You're going to have to figure out how much your overhead's going to be, how much your fuel costs, your maintenance, your payments, all that stuff. You got to figure all that stuff out. So in my case, my overhead is a little bit lower. I have an older truck, which is great. I can keep a lot of that money in the pocket. And a lot of guys will tell you, the new truck is a really good write-off. But I had a lot of legal fees this year, like $24,000 worth of legal fees and $6,000 from last year's taxes. I was told that that goes towards the taxes for the following year, but I'm not 100% sure. But that's basically $24,000 worth of legal fees is a dead set tax write-off. So that took my taxes down a lot for next year. So I won't really have to worry about buying anything or selling anything, but also at the same time, bought a $10,000 trailer, which the plan is hopefully we'll see if I pay it off by the end of the year. We'll have to see what what the financials are looking like. If it makes sense tax-wise to pay it off by the end of the year, I will, but I'm pretty sure that I have enough tax write-offs for the year that I should be all right. Now, I told you guys, I also at the same time, I don't want to do payments. Now, I don't know if you're going to see this, and I don't have the stuff to be able to record it like the screen as is, nor do I really want. But basically, so January, we're basically going to start it off. All right, January, I only made $4,007. Okay, that was working my regular. That was a W-2, and YouTube AdSense was $245, and some automotive repair, and yeah, basically also on top of that, my my mobile mechanic stuff. So I really only made $4,000, $4,007.57 in January, and then February I was with RV Mafia for part-time. Okay, this was part-time. I only did in February 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loads. Okay, that's all I did, but I was doing power only. I was going back and forth between my house and Indiana and then back to the Port of Maryland, and I did that 7 times for a whopping total of $8,191.94. That was my gross that month. Now, that was part-time. Okay, these first numbers I'm going to go over with you guys these were power only. Then I bought a 32-foot trailer. I told you guys I ended up losing money with the 32-foot trailer. It was costing me money to keep running. So that's why I got the 43-footer, and we'll go over that. And I'm going to go over all of, like, I don't want to show you guys that yet, but I'm going to show you guys the gross amount on here for the year, and then you divide that by how many months there are, and that'll show you how much money you made a week. Now, keep in mind, I only work 3 weeks out of the month. So in 3 weeks, this is what I made. Now, that $8,100 that I made in February, that was, I'd go 2 days, 1 day to get out there, 1 day to get back. So that was as part-time as it really could be. So there was no like dedicated weeks or whatnot. Like you can see individual dates. February 3rd dropped one, February 5th dropped one, February 9th dropped one, 11th, 16th, 19th, and 24th. So, and then didn't work the rest of the month. So that's basically that. Now, March, highlight all that. This is, you can see like Google AdSense was only $319. So it really isn't tied into it. But you guys can see I started working a little bit more, and I don't think that I was on the road fully yet either at this point. I do think that this was definitely part-time because I was doing loads the 3rd, 6th, 7th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 22nd. So in March, I made $9,332.84. Okay, now that's a gross number. How much did I spend in fuel? How much did I spend in tolls? I really wasn't making a ton of money back then. Now you're gonna see a huge jump if you come down here into April. Okay, in April, let's see, we'll start April 4th all the way down to April 28th. Now there was a, let's see, Google AdSense was $477, and then we did get a stimulus check. Somehow I got a stimulus check. I don't know. It was a $1,400 check. I forget if I got one or two of those last year. I don't know how I got one, but they sent me one anyway. So if you want to subtract like roughly $2,000, you can subtract off of this total. So you guys can see the addresses like Maryland to Idaho, Wyoming to Maryland, Maryland to Pennsylvania, Ohio to Cali. So this was a full-time month. Basically 3 weeks out of the month I would work. So April 4th, 9th, 10th, 16th, 21st, 21st was Google AdSense, and then 23rd. So that month we made $15,087. Subtract the $2,000 for the Google AdSense and the stimulus check. It was right around a little over $13,000 month, okay? That's for 3 weeks. So that would have been, if you look at it, $13,000 divided by 3, it was like $4,300 a week on average for 3 weeks. So not too shabby, coming into it, hitting it hard. Like I said, that was power only. Now we go to, let's get over here to May. I did 5 loads in May. Okay, and then Google AdSense. Google AdSense, this was where YouTube started to really pick up. So $1,294. But in May, I did 13th, 16th, 20th, like Ohio to Colorado, Colorado to Cali, Cali to Arizona, Colorado to Washington, Oregon, Minnesota, and then Minnesota to Philly. So this load right here on June was when I got the 32 footer. This Minnesota, Shakopee, Minnesota to Philadelphia was my first load with the new trailer. Obviously that month, that didn't count as this month because that was June, but the 28th, we made $12,009.42. You come in here and you subtract the Google AdSense, $1,291. So let's subtract $1,300 from that. Let's say that we made $10,700 in the month of May, okay, as a power-only hotshot with a $15,000 truck, okay? Really not all that bad considering, you know, it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. Let's say roughly, what, $3,500 a week was my average that month, gross, okay? So we're not setting any records, not doing anything like that. Now we come into June, right? I told you June. June was a bad month. I did a lot of loads. June was a very bad month, okay? And we made $1,406 from Google ad revenue, or YouTube's ad revenue. So we can take that out of the equation. But we did like Minnesota to Philly, Pittsburgh to North Carolina, and then we went to, I don't know how I did that because I think, okay, there's two. So Pennsylvania also to North Carolina, then we went to Kentucky and just a bunch of places, and that's where we went into Florida with June 30th. But we made $87.43 that month. Let's say minus $1,400. So we made about $7,300 that month. Awful, god awful. That is an average of, well, actually, if you use the entire month, that's not even an average of $3,000 a week, considering I do 3 weeks out. Terrible. This is what I mean by I was losing money. That was god-awful. It may have actually cost me money to keep that in business, but $87.43.38. Wow, that's awful. Now we need to go into, this is where, yeah, absolutely, I don't recommend 32 footer for car hauling. A general car hauler is 36 feet if you're going to be a 2-car hauler. The problem is if you take 2 cars, the rates are god-awful. To get down to Florida with 2 cars, that's $2,000. But if you take 1 truck and a car, then your rate goes up significantly. It's that 1 truck that pays a lot, and then you use the cars. If you can haul 2 or 3, you want 1 big vehicle. So now we come into July. Let's go to July, hit this one. And then we will also hit that. So July 6th all the way to the 26th. And then there was time off in between. So again, like you can see the days in between, like July 9th. And then you take a couple days off, July 15th to the 21st. There's actually days off in between all that. Like the 16th to the 26th, I didn't work at all. But Google AdSense was $2,080 that month. So we can take out, let's just say we made $12,000 that month. We're doing better, okay? We're figuring out the rates. We went from Florida to, you know, back and forth to all these places. We did end up going to Minnesota. Iowa for a couple of those loads because I think this is where I actually picked up the new trailer. So it was a little bit better, but I ended up losing money for the month to 2 months that I was running that trailer. So we made $12,000 that month, which 3 weeks out, that would consider it to be $12,000. That's $4,000 a week. So we're back at it, but still not the greatest thing in the world. All right. Now we're going to go to August. Okay. So now we're in August. We did a shitload in August. Okay. This is where we picked up the 43 footer. Okay. In the month of August, let's go down to Google AdSense was the only outside source that we made, which was $2,500. So we made $17,859 in August minus $2,500 for Google ad revenue. We're going to round that to $15,300. So in a 3-week period of me running, that means that I would have made a little over $5,000 a week. Now, I would honestly say Google ad revenue should count towards the trucking stuff because without the trucking, Google AdSense wouldn't exist because that's what I based my channel off of. That's when this started growing. So any money that I make from Google AdSense is literally because of the trucking. So that was an $18,000 month. So if you add the Google AdSense into there, because a lot of people are doing YouTube, 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, so we'll do 18,000 divided by 3, 6, 12, 18. So that's $6,000 a week on average if you include it, and $5,000 a week if you don't. So that was my month of August. Now we're in the month of September, which this month was an iffy month because, I mean, it all depends on if you want to count. I have to pay taxes on that check, so any gross income that I get goes towards it. So we do have the $7,000 from Clark Transportation, and we do have, I didn't put it in yet. There was Google AdSense in there. My Google AdSense, let's see, Google AdSense, we got that on the 21st. So I'm going to have to add that in here, 921. That is rate per that. It was like $27.75 and some change. I'll have to look at. With Google AdSense this month, we had $17,725 come in. Mind you, I only worked from the 7th to the 18th, plus the 21st that Google AdSense came in. But this was a weird month because of the accident and everything, and I'm taking a couple weeks off. But this month, we would have been doing really, really good. We had so much planned out. Like, this was the month, if we were going to do $6,000 weeks over and over and over again, this would have been the month to do it. This would have been perfect. But then the accident came in, that $7,000 check, I took about $3,000 of that to fix the repairs. And then I have another $1,000 that I spent on just the extra stuff, like the trailer maintenance and all that. So this is all extra stuff. But without that, and you can subtract the $7,000 from it. So that would be $7,950 made. And that was really only for a week, I think it was. No, September. Yeah, so that would have been, we were doing really good. That number would have came up so much more, like without that, without Clark Transportation's in there. But it would have been good. It would have been a really good one because we started off that week, I think it was, or was that the previous month? That might have been the previous month. Might have been that one there, honestly. Yeah, I think that was for the previous month. But you get the point. We would have done really good this month, but I'm taking the few weeks off to get the trucks fixed and this and that. So total of everything, there was, you want to include the Google AdSense, including my first month with my contracted stuff and a little bit of W-2, and which I'll give you total numbers for that and everything. And then one $1,400 stimulus check. The gross amount that we made this year was $106,974.40. Okay. And don't stop here because this is where we're going to, like, I'm going to start throwing in some expenses and explain some other things to you guys. But $106,974 was what we grossed total this year. Okay. So you can subtract, if you want, you can subtract that first month of $4,000, which would bring it down to $102,000. And you can subtract like the $1,400 stimulus check and the Clark Transportation check. You can do that. That $7,000 we would have made by the next week anyway, because I got hit on a Monday. So by the time, not that Friday, but the Friday after, that would have been $9,000 instead of just getting $7,000 from them. I would have made more. We settled on it because I've read a lot of the comments, and a lot of people said that they're still waiting on insurance checks. They're still waiting on insurance to come out, and it's been months. So I'm glad that I was able to get on the road the next day, fix the truck for $3,000, and I get to put $4,000 in my pocket for the fact that I lost those wages. So all in all, not too bad. But yeah, so if you take that 106,000, I'm gonna do equals that number. So we made $11,886.49 per month. That comes out to an average of just about $4,000 a week. But if you wanted to subtract $4,000 for the first month and divide it by 8, let's see what that would come out to. That would mean that in 8 months, that completely gets rid of the first month. That would mean $12,874. So realistically, gross numbers, since the first month really didn't count because I didn't do anything, but I will count the part-time that we did the second month. It's really not, super bad considering we only work 3 weeks out of the month anyway. That would mean that on average every week for 3 weeks out of the month, we make about $42.90 every week. But again, you guys can see how much, that's $18,000 in that 1 month. So with the new trailer is definitely doing a lot better. Again, I've seen $6,000 weeks. I've also seen $5,000 and $4,000 and $3,000 weeks. So we're going to keep hitting it hard with the new trailer once I come back, and we will go from there. I'm definitely still learning the rates from Florida, but the end goal, if I can see $4,500 a week on average, that'll put about $2,500 a week in my pocket. I'm happy with that. That's perfectly fine for me. This is why I don't want payments. This is why I don't want any of that stuff. I am completely happy with not having payments, and I'm completely happy with running older equipment. But that's basically all of my numbers for the year. Now, what people don't understand, you can look at this and be like, oh, that's not really a lot of money, this and that, considering you're paying for fuel and you're paying for maintenance. Honestly, people don't see the deep down nitty gritty of what goes on with this stuff. So basically, I had to come in this year and I had to pay $30,000, $6,000 for taxes last year, and $24,000 in my legal stuff that I had to pay for. I've already paid the first 12. We went and bought a couple of vehicles. We probably spent $10,000 on vehicles between the 2 vehicles that we did buy. I've definitely flipped the truck around and spent a lot of money on the truck to get it to where it's at, just because it's something that I enjoy doing, and I would do that whether I had this business or not. We both have 2 phones. The house is paid off, everything, and that's the next thing. I need to get the trailer paid off in debt. But it's without this, I would never have been able to afford. They wanted me to pay $24,000 in 6 months. Okay, my first initial payment, and then they said 6 months you have to pay the rest. I don't know if you guys know people that make a shitload of money, but in my age group, most people only make $36,000 a year. That's just my age group of people, and that's just what I see. So the fact that they said, hey, actually, I said last video I was 27. I'll be 27 next month. But this month, I'm 26. And it's hey, you have to pay $12,000 and you have 6 months to do it. So on top of paying the taxes, which I don't know why my accountant still hasn't got back to me, because I got to pay that yet. And that's basically if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be able to afford any of that. So we're able to afford all of that. And I went from having, I wouldn't say no savings at the beginning of the year. I definitely had I think I started the year with $4,000, and I'm not going to give exact numbers, but we're in between the 20s and 30s right now, which is great. And we're just constantly trying to stack up that money and just keep saving it. We're very stingy. I definitely appreciate my fiance a lot because she's stingy like I am. So she tries to find the deals and all this on food and what we need to have for the house. And it's just she's super cheap, which is awesome. Keeps a lot of that money in our pocket. Now people are like, oh, you need to invest, you need to do this. And honestly, I refuse to do that until all of the debt's paid. That's just my thing. If something were to happen tomorrow and I have my money invested somewhere and I don't have enough money in my savings, anything can happen at any given minute. Say the house burns down or something and we have to wait all this time for insurance money. We can afford to go buy another one of these if we had to. It's yeah, I don't want to do that, but it's you gotta have, I tell people, you need to have $10,000 or 3 months worth of expenses in your savings account. Honestly, I want to have more than that. That's just me, okay? I I know people who have $50,000 to $100,000 in their savings account. It's just, it is what it is. I don't have enough money right now worth investing, but I do have enough money worth saving just in case something happens. So that's basically the gist of this. And for the guys, I like to go through and read all the comments and see what you guys want to see. And a lot of people have asked for this. This is why I'm going to give this. So you'll see, you know, this much money, but it's like, how much of that do you really keep in your pocket? And it's like, I mean, if I have like 25 or 28,000 left, I'm happy with that. Everything's paid for, the bills are taken care of, and we're good with that. So I just need to get a lot of shit paid down, honestly. Oh man, next year's going to be the year of debt free. But enough of my rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next one I'm going to do, let me know down in the comments, do you want to see a dispatch video next, or do you want to see me start throwing the truck back together next? Pick one, because I'll have both of them recorded as of tomorrow. But which one do you want to see first? Especially because it's Thursday now, so you're going to be seeing this Friday at noon. What do you guys want to see on Saturday? Teardown or dispatch? Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.